Hey guys, I know we've got Memorial Day coming up and it is not probably going to be a normal Memorial Day for so many of us, but I'm here to make a public announcement and to give you a recipe that I promise, if it doesn't like completely save your Memorial Day, it will come really, really close. So I'm making my mother-in-law's Blackberry Cobbler, or as we say in native Texans, dewberry cobbler. And if you're not familiar with a cobbler, it's just a really easy, usually a fruit-based dessert. It's got a simple batter and it's served best with ice cream. So today I'm giving you the key recipe for the easiest dessert you will possibly encounter for Memorial Day weekend. So the ingredients we need are about 2 cups of fresh fruit, milk, sugar, flour, baking powder, and salt. And that is, and a stick of butter. Getting started, I have more or less of fresh fruit. I've got fresh blackberries, I've got sugar, butter, salt, baking powder, flour, and milk, and that's it. And trust me, this is the easiest recipe you will ever make. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is sort of macerate the fruit. I've got, well, the recipe calls for 2 cups of fruit, but I actually like it pretty kind of fruit heavy. So I've got, I think about 2.5 pints of blackberries. And I'm just gonna put that in a bowl. And again, this recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar, and you're supposed to macerate with the first cup. That's way too much sugar for me. So as far as baking recipes go, I feel like this is a pretty flexible recipe. If you don't want it as sweet, of course, it's amazing if it's really sweet. But so I only do, I don't know, I eyeball it. Maybe 3/4 of a cup, and just sprinkle the sugar on there and let that just kind of hang out for a few minutes while getting everything else going. Then while I'm doing the rest of the stuff, actually I should have already been doing this. My oven is preheated to 350. I take a stick of butter, and I think technically, again, the recipe calls for 6 tablespoons of butter. I just throw the whole thing in there. I mean, really. I throw the butter, it needs to be melted, so take the butter, put it in the dish I'm gonna bake in, and I just pop it in the oven for a little bit and let it melt. Next thing is to actually make the batter. Super simple. It is just flour and milk and a little bit of baking soda. So I'm going to take, lost my place, 3/4 cups of flour. I feel so, I know. 1, 2, 3/4 cups, and 3/4 cups of milk. I mean, seriously, it doesn't get any easier. 3/4 cups of milk. Actually, I messed up. I was supposed to put the baking powder and the salt in with the dry ingredients, but I'm going to back that up and just do it anyway. Baking powder is 1 teaspoon. This never happens on cooking shows. They never fumble with their spoons. Okay. So just verifying that. 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So just really a pinch of salt. I always pour, anytime I have salt in a recipe, I always pour it away from the bowl because, yeah, I've ruined things before. A little slip of the hand, so if it gets on the counter, I don't care. I'll just make sure it doesn't ruin my batter. All right, grab a whisk. And you really just kind of whisk the batter. Just kind of eyeball that, I don't know if you can see it. You whisk the batter just till it's kind of lump-free. It's really simple. And one little trick that is not on my recipe, but I just remembered I often do just to kind of be extra, and that's to add about, I don't know, 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm gonna grab that real quick and throw it in. That's all I need. Here it is. Oh, let's make it 1/2 teaspoon. also use any kind of fruit. I've just never made this recipe with anything but blackberries. Okay, so batter is done. That's it. So I'm going to check on my butter dish, see if it's melted. We got a little bit of ways to go, so what do you think? Should I try to learn a TikTok dance? Wow, you can really dance. No, better not. Okay. Okay, so our butter is melted in our dish that we're going to bake in. Next step is the batter goes in, and you just kind of pour it. There is no rhyme or reason. You can see it's kind of like pancake batter. It's very similar in consistency to pancakes. All that in there. All right, you do not stir anything. Next, you dump the fruit in, and again, you do not stir. That's the key. Just kind of let the fruit go wherever it wants. I'm going to go ahead and scrape in the last of that sugar, because why not? Okay, that's it. And it is ready to go in the oven for about 45 minutes at 350. Okay, so this is how it looks before it goes in the oven. And the crazy thing is no matter how much you think you could screw it up or how bad it looks, it'll still taste amazing. Okay, we're ready. Oh my goodness. Bubbly goodness. Oh my gosh. And after it cools down a little bit, it's best served with vanilla ice cream or heavy whipped cream.